have come to bring in this case if you want to.
What day were we here
February 24th.
for the plea?
Yes. If it's addressed on the second page of the PSI.
Might give me just a second. No. Y'all left this open to me. It's up to me. I'm looking at jail incident reports and history, even though it's juvenile and no. All right, so you're Anthony Young.
No.
So, Mr. Young, you were previously in court. You entered pleas of true in a motion to revoke your probation. You're on probation for theft of a firearm, which is a state jail felony. And I was just looking at the old PSI and it had F2 beside it, but we're all state jail felony.
Yeah.
And so you entered pleas of true that you violated your probation and you were sent to, okay, I just want to kind of go through. I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that?
Yes, sir.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
No. Nothing.
And then I've also received, and we've been talking about these throughout his court appearances, some updated jail incident reports. Have you both had an opportunity to review those as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so this is this was an unagreed plea. There was no agreement when we were here before. And so I also took a look at and was able to review again that underlying offense pre-sentence report as well. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to look at mine if you don't have your copy of that. And so, Mr. Young, it sounds like you guys talked at least today about an agreement for an 18-month term in the state jail, but I don't, based on what I've seen in this pre-sentence report update, the old pre-sentence report and the incidents that have happened since we were in court last time, I'm not going to go along with any agreement. He pled unagreed. It's going to be up to me. I'll let y'all make argument. Mr. Lewis.
Well, Judge, this was a situation, of course, he was previously on probation where he was participating in a cognitive tract of ISF when the initial incident occurred, and which I believe was maybe less than a week before he was to complete the program, and he was sent back. Since then, I've been in constant contact with his parents, his mother and father, who
I think he was already there. This incident happened at ISF.
ISF, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was sent back from ISF like a less than a week before he completed.
2 days before he was supposed to.
completed-
Right.
completed. But since then, I've been in contact with his parents, judge, and they're still, they are very supportive of him in any way. As far as him going forward in the future, I did talk with him, so he understands that probation, of course, will not be probably the best situation for him. That's why we came to the agreement that we approached you about on the 18 months. Judge, we would still ask for the any 18 months or close to it in order to allow him to finish cleaning out any time to support things that's deserving at this point, and he can move on with his life. His parents are available. His father actually lives out of town, which could be a benefit to get him out into a new situation, a new circumstance to where he can start his life over. So that's kind of where we are at this point, Judge. Ultimately, I know that decision rests with you.
Mr. Smith, anything else?
I don't think I need to argue, Judge.
There were 17 juvenile either offenses or failure to comply with the court order that ended you up in TJJD. So you've already been to juvenile prison and you got out of juvenile prison and you commit this offense. You're certified as an adult. I give you this great opportunity to go to ISF to get the tools you need, which you should have gotten in the first one was in 2019 to 2024. You're going through, you're on delinquent court probation. You should be getting all kinds of tools that you needed through the juvenile system. You should have gotten some more at TJJD. I give you an opportunity and you get to ISF and you just can't make it through. Then you get into our jail and you're told, stop getting in trouble. And you left court on the 24th, and the first incident report was on that day. First one. After I said, don't get any more, and you went back and got one the very same day. And you've had 8 since then. You like to smoke. You like to do what you want. Like to horseplay. You like to, I mean, you're still acting, unfortunately, like a child, and you're not a child anymore. And you've been told that, and you've been given these tools. And at some point, you've got to get truly a wake-up call. And I think it's great that your parents are supporting you. You should have probably been living with your dad about 4 years ago if he's out of town. If that's what y'all are saying is helpful, then maybe sometime before the 17th time you got in trouble as a juvenile, somebody does something. And that didn't happen. You just kept doing it. So if they're there to help you, you're sure not taking advantage of it. And that's on you, not on your family. If they're trying and you just choose to go run the streets and do what you want, which is what you've been doing. I mean, you had a robbery. We're not talking about just little things, right? I mean, we've got terroristic threat, criminal trespass, running away, assault bodily injury, assault family. So your family's trying to help you and you're assaulting them. Expulsion from your school, theft, robbery, aggravated assault, assault causing bodily injury to a family member, terroristic threat, criminal mischief, escape while you're confined. I mean, that's crazy that all happened while you were juvenile. And honestly, that the most I can do today is 2 years. Somebody needs to protect, looks like a whole lot of people from you. And that's the only thing I feel like I can do today. So I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true, freely, and voluntarily. Find those counts true again, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of the state jail felony offense of theft of a firearm. Sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. You're going to be handed a trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement. You have some limited rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Lewis about that. I'm also going to hand you a trial court, a written admonishment that explains that because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you, another felony. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Lewis. And so what you do with this time, Mr. Young, is going to be up to you. It's not a lot of time. You're going to be out, you're going to be real young, and then it's going to be up to you whether or not you want to change your life or not and get the help that your family's saying that they'll give you. But if you choose not to, then you're just going to be, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison if you keep doing what you're doing. Does that make sense? I need you to sign this and you'll get a copy of it. And Mr. Lewis, y'all get the bottom 2 copies. Okay, so back on the record with Mr. Mark Garcia, 25 DCCR 0120. What's going on? What's the announcement?
Judge, I got a new offer from the state. I talked to Mr. Garcia about it. He did want me to look into some of the things with his prior convictions.
Okay.
He had questions about some of those. I believe just thinking offhand, I think what the confusion is, I just need a few days to speak with him and get him to understand what's going on.
Okay, and there's been an offer made.
Yes, it's a TDC offer to the second degree judge, and what we discussed was that the confusion may lie with the fact that the state jail conviction resulted in the 1244 county jail time is still a state jail conviction for the case with.
And I think it would be a 3rd degree because it's 2 state jails. Yeah. So it looks like there's 2 sets of state jail convictions. There were 2 in 2022, and then there were 2 in 2023 on the same date. So that would make 2 sequence state jails, which would make it a 3rd degree. Okay. All right. I'll just do a normal reset, give you some time to visit with Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, talk to Mr. Lewis. He's obviously aware of what the law is, and he'll look at those judgments that the state has, and we'll get an announcement at the next court date. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon. Are you Devontae Savoy?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is cause number 23 DCCR 2038. Mr. Savoy is on probation for tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair. There's a motion filed. What is the announcement?
Judge, and I've spoken to Savoy, and at this time, he'll be entering pleas to the motion.
Okay, so there's no
No
agreement.
agreement, Judge.
That pulled up.
I believe we had an agreement of sorts.
Well, Judge, I'll say that the issue is, of course, is, instead of talking with the state, we definitely want to get an updated PSI for Mr. Savoy, for us making a determination whether the options may be out there on him, but to the actual violations, he's more than willing to enter his pleas to those.
Okay. But y'all don't have an agreement with regard to punishment.
That's correct, Your Honor. And I spoke with Ms. Lopez, his probation officer, and we all thought that an updated PSI might be very helpful with that.
Okay.
And then just as a clerical matter, Your Honor, I noted that number 6 violation, alleged number 6 is arrearage. Number 15 is an updated amount of arrearage, and so the state will abandon number 6
Thank you.
for number 15.
So I just did a prior version thing. It showed that there were two first amended motions. One's an order and one's the actual motion. And so now there's a prior version of an order too. So just in case y'all look and see that. Okay, so Mr. Savoy, the best you can, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. And will he waive the formal reading of that motion?
He does, Judge.
So, Mr. Savoy, in cause number 23, DCCR 2038, have a first amended motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. Shows that you were placed on probation June 30th of 2025 for the offense of tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair, a third-degree felony, and that was a 4-year deferred probation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
This motion alleges that you violated your probation. Count 1 alleges that you failed to report to the probation office as required August 8th, October 6th, October 31st, and November 14th of 2025. And is that true or not true?
Yes, ma'am.
True or not true?
True.
Thank you. Count 2 alleges that you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 3 alleges that you failed to provide verification of performing the community service hours as required. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 4 alleges that you failed to provide verification of participating in and complying with all of the rules and guidelines of the mental health initiative caseload. Is that true or not true? Count 5 alleges that you failed to participate in the education program for your GED. Is that true or not true?
Yes.
And then the state abandoned count 6. Count 7 alleges that you failed to have the drug patch on as directed. Is that true or not true?
Yeah.
Count 8 alleges that you failed to enroll in services at the Spindletop ATAR program. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 9 alleges that you committed the new offense of failure to ID on February 26th of 2026. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 10 alleges that you committed the new offense of theft of property February 26th of 2026. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 11 alleges that you failed to avoid persons or places of disreputable or harmful character, specifically association with any person previously convicted of a crime or at the presence where a crime was being committed. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 12 alleges that you failed to report October 1st of 2025. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 13 alleges that you failed to immediately report to your probation officer your change in contact information. Is that true or not true?
True.
Count 14 alleges that you were at a location other than your residence at approximately 9:21 p.m. February 26th of 2026. Is that true or not true?
True.
And then finally, count 15 alleges that you're behind in your court assessed fees as of March 3rd of 2026 in the amount of $1,220. Is that
Yeah.
true or not true?
True.
Did you enter your pleas of true to all of the counts except 6 that we left out, freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you plead true to all of those counts because they're actually true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then, at this time, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 5 and 7 through 15 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation and find you guilty, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to reset your case for sentencing. Ask the probation department to do an updated report that'll give me more information about what's been going on, and then we'll see where we are at that hearing. If there's some agreement, great. If there's not, then it'll be up to me what to do with your probation. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the bailiff. Yes, ma'am.
I would add one of the ones that he pled true to where it seemed like it was doubling up on the failing to report.
Yeah, did I?
That was an update to state that he had been gone since that date. I had
Gotcha.
not
I
seen
just
him
didn't.
since that.
Yes,
date.
ma'am.
So that's not necessarily an additional violation. That's just an updated violation, much like the.
Since, and it says since in there.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to make that clear.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
All right. We, hold on. We added one on.
Oh, yes, I'll be here, Judge, when you have.
All right, I'll take care of that in just a minute. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. You're Carolyn Whitaker. Morning, Mr.
Good
Moran.
morning.
And Ms. Whitaker's cases are set for trial to begin with jury selection next week. And what is the announcement?
State is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready, Your Honor. There's just a few preliminary things I would like to take up with the state, with the court. There's just a couple of motions that I filed, my standard motions, such as my, motion disclosure rule 702 witnesses and things like that. I've sent those. I believe I filed those over a year ago. Those are some preliminary things I would like to address. And I don't believe there's any issue, but other than that, I mean, we're ready.
Okay, so, what I'll do, I've got jail docket this afternoon. And as soon as I'm finished with that, I will, number the cases. If this turns out to be the number one case, then, we can set a time to take care of those before jury selection.
Thank you.
And if you'll just go through all of those, make sure if there's anything that hasn't been taken care of, just because I know you got on the case after, probably those were filed. So,
I will say that I did work with your assistant last week.
Yes.
On Friday.
Yes,
To go through all of the discovery
yes.
and make certain that you have everything that
Yes.
we have.
And Judge, we bait stamp all of our discoveries, sent it to the state to make sure that everything I had, I sent over, had my bait stamps on it. I believe we've corresponded. I think we did, or we sent a list of everything we had, or maybe it was different, but I know that we've corresponded between the state,
okay,
everybody, what I've been.
You have
what y'all have.
okay.
And just for the record, these motions I filed are my standard pretrial stuff, nothing crazy, no suppressions or anything at this point.
If there's anything that you think is, kind of a standout that Ms. French needs to look at, let her know that. Otherwise, if it's number one, we'll take care of it at the appropriate time. Any other negotiations with regard to, any agreements or anything like that?
Your Honor, we've not, an offer a while back when Mr. Hoffpower was on the case, that the offer was rejected. I've got my week blocked off for next week.
Okay. All right, then it will be numbered. Again, it'll be the end of the day today, probably first thing tomorrow morning, potentially, because we're doing everything today. I'll number the cases. But based on the one that I thought was going to be number one, this one just kind of moved up the list. So, I'll let you know.
And is it just, I know I'm not holding you to it, just from planning purposes, is it looking like this one's gonna be set number one? And and if you don't know it, I'm not trying to press anybody. I just,
I might just ask you,
It's,
is there anything here that you think you don't have, or are you just looking for a ruling on your motion?
just ruling on my motions, just so I have things done.
you know, it kind of, there's one, that I have in a murder case that's in custody.
Okay,
That we'll know about this afternoon, that's about the same age as this one. And so if that one for some reason is ready, it might, go ahead, but, you'll know by the end, late this evening.
thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, who do I need to talk to about getting copies of jury lists and everything like that?
If you'll get with, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, sir.
May we be excused?
Yes, thank you.
so much.
All right, see y'all next week. Morning, are you Brian Mitchell? And Mr. Mitchell's case is set for trial to begin with jury selection next Monday in cause number 24 DCCR 0170. I've gotten some information that Mr. Burbank, you're set apparently in Orange County. on a murder case.
The,
Judge Arking. Um,
That, I will tell you, that case had troubles getting witnesses from out of town, so what actually said, I
okay.
don't know whatever, but the caller.
No, I mean, it sounds like we've already received some information that it was specially said with witnesses being flown in. Is there any anticipation that that's could potentially get worked out? I know things change at the last minute, but
Last communication I had, I'll tell you with the court, I applied last week, Thursday afternoon to Friday. So I'm like, well.
and he's in custody.
He is.
So do y'all have a pretrial set this week or just getting started next week?
We there was no.
Okay, Miss French, obviously, I know the cases that have to do with children do take precedence, at least in my court, if I have to number them, but I don't know that I can get him if there's somebody in custody with the case. I think it's about as old or the same approximate age as this one. So what I'm going to do is just maybe hold it, just double check that there isn't anything that's going to cause that to be reset with witnesses. Because if it is, then this is definitely going to be numbered. Is the state ready if we go?
The state is ready. I would just say that with the caveat that I have a tendency to not want to re-traumatize by making children talk about these things too early. And so if I could just have a little leeway, if at the last minute this is the case that goes, because I don't want to have to bring her in unless I know we're going to trial.
Well, you're not always going to know,
know.
unfortunately.
I
And
know.
so I would think in this one, we're already on Wednesday. It's different than most weeks. I'll see what I can do to double check that the court's not going to have any issues over there. And number the cases today at the end of the docket. So I'll let you know at the end of the day.
Thank you.
State's otherwise ready, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
See my.
Jalen, Eli, Mr. Burbank, Mr. Coleman.
Uh,
Good morning, sir. You're Daryl Albritton.
Yes,
And Mr. Albritton, were you able to get a lawyer hired?
yes, tonight, Darryl Ward, when he say, can you reschedule it, because he say he won't be able to make, because he had Harris County, he got other,
What's the name?
clients.
What's his name again?
Darryl Ward,
When did you hire him?
like 2 weeks ago. You know his
Okay.
number?
If you have it, that would be great. I'm gonna let you give it to the clerk because we don't have anything from him yet. And so technically it does not show in our system that he's been hired because he hadn't sent the notice of representation. So I'm gonna give you a reset to come back in a month. But
Right.
just call his office and tell him they need to file the appropriate paperwork here with the court before that next court date, okay?
Yes,
And give that information to Ms. Holmes here.
all right.
All right, thanks. Mr. Gray, did you get someone hired?
No, I get that. No.
So who did you talk to?
Actually, you told me at work, so I started applying for the jobs. I got some here at 2 o'clock.
Take your hands out of your pockets. Speak where I can hear you.
Sorry. Told me I couldn't do posters anymore, so I've been applying for the jobs.
Okay,
Second interview today at Home Depot at 2 o'clock.
okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do this morning, Mr. Gray, is have you fill out some paperwork to see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Make sure you fill it out accurately and completely. You're gonna swear under oath that it's all true and correct, and then I'll take a look at it. Step in front of the clerk on the end and she'll give you that paperwork.
And Brittany
Thank you.
Davis.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Are you Angela Reyes?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Bless you. Ms. Reyes is here on 3 cases. We have 26 DCCR 0264 charged with assault on a peace officer. 26 DCCR 0265 obstruction or retaliation. And then 26 DCCR 0266 assault on a peace officer. And what is the announcement?
Judge, this is one, actually, we were here a few weeks ago on a bond hearing. And you gave her additional bond conditions dealing with her mental health and things of that nature. We're going to Spindletop. She bonded out, and about a week or so later, had another episode and was placed back in custody. And our understanding is there are at least two or three other cases that have been filed. but they haven't come or we haven't get any information on.
Okay,
That's my understanding as well, Judge. I don't know that they've been referred to our office and I neglected, Mr. Lewis mentioned it to me, I think last week.
Yeah.
And I neglected to check before I came down today to see if we have.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that will ultimately be accepted as misdemeanors or ultimately or come here
okay.
as additional.
How long is it gonna take to get that figured out?
I'm happy to check right after documentation.
Okay. All right, so we'll just do one more reset to, y'all get it all, see what's going to, if you have anything else coming, get that worked out maybe, and then we'll get an announcement at the next court date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the bailiff. Devontae Savoy, morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You're Brittany Davis?
Yes.
And Miss Davis, were you able to get a lawyer hired?
I talked to Jeff Todd, Neil Davis, and Corey Huff. So 3 of them is looking pretty good for me.
Okay, where are they located?
In Houston,
Okay.
County.
And so where are you on being able to get one of them hired?
I was hoping for if I can request a bond reduction. Cause it's kind of hard paying the bondsman.
I typically don't, once you've made bond, reduce the bond. I have before. Look at something real quick. So you made a $10,000 bond?
No, they pretty much took a portion because I have a.
Right, but that was, I mean, that was the amount, that's your bond amount, and then they made you pay part of that, correct? So
yes.
your bond was at $10,000 on what you're charged with, I think is reasonable. I'm not going to reduce that.
It was $100,000
Did you miss court? Oh, did you test positive in court?
with the patch.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You still have the patch on?
Yes, ma'am.
So the patch, in February was positive. Have a seat in the jury box. Let's get you tested this morning to make sure you're clean. Good morning, sir. You're Broderick Guillory?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Guillory, were you able to get someone hired?
No, ma'am. I have agreed to get.
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to Ernst Kelly Law Firm, and she said I have to pay 5,000 now and pay for the rest. And Wayne Walker,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess she said it was just some call worker as well.
Right.
And I was trying to see maybe if I can try to get a court.
Are you working?
Yes, I just started working.
Where are you working?
I work at Goodyear.
Okay, so why don't I do this? If you just started working, it's depend. Are you what are your hours
I
gonna be?
work Monday through Thursday.
Okay,
Today, so 40 hours.
40 hours. Okay, and what is your rate?
$22.
You're probably, now that you're working, I don't know that you would qualify making that amount. You might, but let's let you, I'm gonna reset your case one more time. See if you can get some money saved up. Talk to some other lawyers. So if you get someone hired before the next court date, same thing applies, bring that that you get to them. But if not, talk to 3 others. You can tell they all charge different amounts and stuff. So talk to them, bring me those names. Also bring a pay stub in with you. And if you haven't been able to hire someone, we'll talk about you filling out that paperwork, okay?
Yes.
All right, step in front of the clerk. Good morning. Are you Akaya Nash?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Nash, this is your initial appearance in cause number 26 DCCR 0206. You're charged with a 2nd-degree felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon from November 23rd of 2025. Since you've made bond in your case, have you had an opportunity to try to hire a lawyer?
I can, but I haven't because I just started working.
Sure. Okay. So what I do, Ms. Nash, I'm going to reset your case about 30 days
Yes, ma'am.
to give you some time to try to get someone hired.
Yes, ma'am.
If you get someone hired before that next court date, just bring the reset notice that you get today to that lawyer and they'll tell you what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're unable to hire someone before the next court date, then I'm ordering that you visit with at least 3 lawyers. They all charge different amounts, they have different payment plans. Bring me back the names of the lawyers that you've talked to, so I know you're trying, and then we'll discuss your options if you need more time or things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't do that, then when you come back, you run the risk of me raising your bond for not following that court order and you'll go back to jail. Do you understand? Yes. All right, if you'll step in front of the clerk, she'll give you a reset notice. Yeah.
Nuts.
Good morning, you're Darian Broussard. And Mr. Broussard, you're on misdemeanor probation. Answer yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like I've gotten some information that maybe you've been tested positive on that probation. Have a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna get you tested this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. You're Corbin Rayleigh?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rayleigh, were you able to get someone hired?
No, ma'am, but I brought some pay stubs like you asked for.
Okay, let me see, that. Hand it to the back.
The right side.
Okay,
I've been making sure to get them every week.
perfect. So you get paid, each week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I appreciate you doing that. What I'm gonna do this morning, Mr. Rayleigh, is have you fill out some paperwork to see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer.
Yes.
You need to make sure you fill it out accurately and completely because you're gonna swear under oath that it's all true and correct. So put that income in, whatever your bills are and things like that, okay?
Yes.
Step in front of the clerk on the end. Good morning.
Does this docket thing work again? It seems like it's been a long time.
It does, doesn't it? Good morning. Good morning, sir. You Alan Lua? And this is cause number 26 DCCR 0256. Mr. Lua is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon. And what is the announcement?
Your Honor, Mr. Lua has a pending federal case, which is the same, and I'm working through the discovery in it, which will result in a plea at some point.
Okay,
I'd ask that this be reset. However, according to their schedule, they would have it all set for June 1st, but I don't think I need that long.
yeah, I know. I mean, would it be your intention to wait on what happens over there as
Yes,
well?
yes, ma'am.
So why don't I do this? I'm going to reset it 90 days.
That'll be fine.
And I know that process takes a while. We'll see where you are in that process once we get there. So make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Macon, take care of everything you're supposed to with your bondsman, and over in federal court, we'll see y'all back in 90 days.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Morning, sir. Are you Jalen Eli?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 25 DCCR 1004. Mr. Eli is charged with forgery of a financial instrument. And Mr. Burbank, what is the announcement?
Your Honor, I'm going to be candid with the court. I dropped the ball on this one. There are some banks from Minnesota. And to be honest with you, when I looked at it yesterday afternoon, and I was like, oh.
More than you expected. And it looks like you, this isn't very old. You were hired, looks like in
We
February.
talked
So
about it this morning, Judge, and I'm not opposed to a reset.
I'll just do a normal reset, give you some time to kind of get through that.
And then, of course, I have to talk to him about money to maybe resolve it.
So Mr. Eli, make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Burbank, make an appointment visit with him before that next court date, once he goes through everything. And that way we'll be able to get an announcement. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor.
And this is Ms. Malfino.
Wow, okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. What miss?
Morning, Ms. Malfino.
Morning.
And sir, are you Michael Harrison?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 25 DCCR 1859. Mr. Harrison is charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more. And what is the announcement?
Your Honor, we've received everything but the videotape, and I expected, and I just unfortunately requested a little bit later than the regular discovery. I've also received an offer from Ms. Malfino. I assure you that as soon as I receive the video, we'll make tracks. I have
Okay.
good communication.
All right.
with my
Any issue? And Mr. Harrison, do you have the auto ignition interlock device on your vehicle? All right, make sure you keep that on and don't drive any other vehicle that doesn't have it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll just do a normal reset, stay in touch with Mr. Paget. Once he gets that video, you can go over that with him and we'll get an announcement.
Okay.
All right, free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
May I have an excuse?
Yes, sir.
According to some changes, there are not dismissals at the time of entering
Correct.
into said contract any longer.
Okay,
And so with the lengthy reset, Judge, I'd have no reason to believe he's not doing great.
okay.
And we.
He's in compliance and he's passed on the test.
Lengthy 90
90
days.
days. would be fine.
Okay,
You have-
good morning, sir. You're Brian Belvin?
It's a year program
Right.
and I'm only a month in.
All right, so what we'll do is, just so that I can keep track of how things are going, I'm gonna set it out about 3 months or so. We'll just kind of check back in, make sure everything's still going well, and then we'll do the same, maybe even a little longer that second time. Okay, so keep doing what you're doing. Sounds like everything's going well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. You're Charles Rhodes?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 26 DCCR 0209. Mr. Rhodes is charged with driving while intoxicated with a child passenger. And what is the announcement?
I think we about have something worked out. I need to provide some documents to Ms. Malfino, and I think we'll have it worked out next time.
Okay. Any issues? All right, Mr. Rhodes, I'm going to reset your case, just a normal reset. Make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Parker, and he'll let you know what's going on before that next court date, and we'll get an announcement.
Yeah, thank you.
You're free to go.
See you this afternoon, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Is there a Mr. Charles Neesmith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
You're Deshaun Robertson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. If it please court, I am here this morning on behalf of Ms. Robertson. There's a couple of things in evidence that I'm requesting. It's criminal history of the alleged victim, Mr. Sanders, as well as requesting time from the court for two things. One, I filed an ex parte for an investigator this morning, not just for criminal history, but for any exculpatory mitigating evidence in this case, because there may be an issue of self-defense. And that ties into Cienter, which would be at a trial if necessary for Ms. Robertson, because she's been MHMR all her life,
Okay.
going towards intent for an assault, Your Honor.
I can get him criminal history. The complaint actually was just looking at it when you walked in. It's
All right,
extensive.
so I'll do a normal reset, and I'll take a look at that motion and let you know what my ruling is on that. Ms. Robertson, make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Neesmith. He'll let you know when you need to be back, and he'll visit with you about anything that he's learned between now and the next court date, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
It probably is still pending because I thought
Yeah, it'll take a day, maybe this afternoon. I'll take a look at it as soon as it comes through.
I had to fix a Canon printer late last night. So
All right, thank you. Y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The legal significance of this case centers on judicial discretion in probation revocation and sentencing after repeated failures at rehabilitation. Anthony Young had already admitted to violating the terms of his probation for theft of a firearm, a state jail felony. And the court considered not only his updated presentence investigation report, but also numerous disciplinary incidents that occurred even after prior warnings. Although the defense sought an 18-month sentence based on family support and the defendant's young age, the judge emphasized that probation is a privilege rather than a right and noted Young's extensive juvenile record, prior placement in juvenile custody, unsuccessful participation in rehabilitation programs, and continued misconduct while incarcerated. Legally, an unagreed plea left sentencing entirely within the court's discretion, allowing the judge to reject the proposed agreement and impose the maximum 2-year state jail sentence.